Megan, or meowthvader, and I am here for the end of the year book tag. So, I figured since we are about to enter into December, this would be a good time to do this tag. Question number 1. Are there any books that you started this year that you need to finish? A Sweet Mess by J.C. Lee. I've started it and then DNF'd it, but I need to finish it so that I can do a book review for it that is way overdue on NetGalley. So I'm going to try to read it again. And then I am trying to get through the Goodreads romance finalists. Next question. Do you have an autumnal book to transition into the end of the year? My autumnal book I plan to read is Stuffed by Jessica Gadziala, because I figured a Thanksgiving book around Thanksgiving is a good book to read before we transition into all of the winter Christmas books. Next one, are there any new releases you're still waiting for? And not really, but there is one I'm curious about, which is Layla by Colleen Hoover, because Colleen Hoover is a contemporary romance writer, and Layla is supposedly a paranormal romance. And I really like seeing people from one genre who they're known for writing mainly one type of thing veer into another, specifically paranormal. I always find it interesting when they veer into paranormal. The next question, what are 3 books you want to read before the end of the year? I want to do a reread of 10 Blind Dates. I think that'd be a really good book to kick off the Christmas season or the holiday season. I read this book last year around the holidays and I loved it so much, and so I want to read it again this year and see if I like it just as much. The next is the most recent release of Check Please, which I think is the second 2 years of college. So the first book was the first 2 years, and then this book's the second 2 years. And Check Please is the cutest thing in the entire world, and it is about a vlogger who bakes and is queer and plays hockey for a college, and he is so wholesome and I love him and I can't wait to jump back into this world. And then the last one is Teach Me by Olivia Dade. This isn't a new release of hers, but I've just had it on my radar and I kind of want to read it if I can. Next is there a book you think that can still shock you and become your favorite book of the year? As I said before, I'm reading all of the romance finalists for 2020. So while my hopes are not super high, because I've read half of them, and a lot of them aren't even romance books, they're women's fiction, I still have some hope. It's just 2020 releases, at least for me, haven't been great this year. So I'm hoping that they get better, or that I'll have a book kind of knock me off my feet. I know that I've had a trend of either obsessing with an author or a book. So in 2018, loved Helena Hunting, read all the Pucked books, loved them so much. I think I read them 2 or 3 times. They're great. And then 2019, I was obsessed with Red, White, and Royal Blue. And no single book has lived up to Red, White, and Royal Blue. But this year, my current obsession is Shelley Lawrenston. I read her whole Shifter World, and I loved it. And the only book that I was not a fan of was, unfortunately, her 2020 release. Badger to the Bone was just not good. And that disappointed me so much. But every other book, so 19 out of 20 or something ridiculous like that, were great. And I read them all in 6 weeks. So at least I found a favorite author, I guess, if nothing else. And I will probably reread and maybe rank the couples at some point next year, because I just loved them all so much. Last question. Have you already started making reading plans for 2021? And I have. So I have a lot of books that I want to read or book ideas that I have that I want to make into reading vlogs or recommendations or things like that. I also have a lot of tropes that I say I love, and then looking through all the books I read, I realize I read virtually no books in those tropes. So I want to kind of get more books into tropes that I like. And maybe then I'll have more success with the books I'm reading. And that might be why I'm just not really like hitting it out of the park with the books I read this year. But yeah, I also have a lot of manga I want to read. I used to read manga all the time in college, and then I stopped reading it for a while. And now I've picked manga back up and I want to read more manga again. So I have a lot of manga series I want to start or I want to continue. So I guess look out for that. There will be a lot more of that. And then other series that I'll put down. So here's the thing. I read a lot of series. So if you ever go through my Goodreads read books, it's like 1 through 5 back to back to back of a series. And then I just stop reading that series and I never come back to it. Or sometimes it's like 8. Like I think I've gone as high as like 8 books in a series. And then I'm like, all right, we're done. And then I just never read the rest of the series. So I want to kind of revisit the series where I read more than the first 2 books. Because usually if I read at least 3, it means I liked it. If I read 2, it means I gave it a chance. So 1, if I didn't like it, I'll try the second book. And if I still didn't like it, like we're done. Not going to do it. I'm not going to put myself through it. So usually if it's like 3 or more, I really liked the series. And then for some reason, I just put it down and never picked it back up. So my goal is to kind of go through all of those books and read through the series. But yeah, so that is the end of your book tag. I hope that anyone watching this does it too. Let me know. I want to see it. I find this kind of thing really interesting, and I'm super excited to get into winter time, and I'm hoping for snow. I am in Texas, but I am close to New Mexico, so there is a chance for snow. So I will hope for snow. All right. Till next time. Bye, guys.